Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining me again. This is part two, really, of my Offside series. In the first video, I try to go through all the permutations of the law of offside, law number 11 in our game. It is a little bit complicated, so that video is a little bit long at 20 minutes, but it really does cover all the strange little exceptions that go on, so hopefully you understand it as well. This video is a fair bit shorter. Here we're going to talk about how we're going to use the offside law in training our players both on attack, on defense, and on transitions. Really, the three phases of the game that one has to deal with. So let's take a quick look at the tactics board on some of these phases so that you can start to understand how this law affects your team in play, and it can help you think about how you can start to train your players to work with the offside law to their advantage. Let's go. Okay, in 7v7, why do we care about the offside besides the fact it's going to get called on? Well, because again, when we talked about structuring your team in the last video, we talked about how we organize on the field at 7v7. Offside comes into play. Again, we're going to talk about the halfway being the demarc line. I did say earlier that sometimes in some leagues, there's an extra line painted in called the build out line. So that in goal kicks, instead of the halfway line, the opposing team can only come to that line before they pressure you. The league I happen to play in, and a lot of ones I deal with, it's the halfway line because it's just easier. There's less paint going on, honestly. So we'll use the halfway line. So with our players, that means when we're attacking with the ball going forward against this team, the blue team, we want to do two things from the front and the back. Where's my keeper? Oh, there he is. Right, pushed him right up there. The first thing is this, is that we want to understand that when we have the ball and we're in here attacking, we need to be sure this player isn't running offside to receive that ball, because that's a no-no, right? We're going to get flagged for that all the time. So training this player to run along this line, you can come in and come out. You can run into an offside position and come back. But again, it's the moment the ball is kicked. If this player's here, the ball is kicked, and they come back from an offside position, the whistle's going to blow because that is offside. Because again, what does the law say? At the moment the ball is kicked. That is the thing that a lot of people forget. Ball is kicked, they come here. You say, oh, coach, they're onside. But they started here when the ball was kicked. As the ball traveled, they came from an offside position. Sometimes you'll see a referee kind of make this motion saying they came from an offside position back to the onside position here. So training these players to work these defenders to make runs. Maybe they're here and they're going to run at this defender, waiting for the timing of this ball to be played through, and then they come around for a chance on net. That's the first thing, is on the attack, making sure we stay on side. You get a player that runs way down here and gets the ball, they're going to be offside. The second half is on the defensive half of this duty, and that is pushing your players up to halfway, because we know if this player crosses this line and your two center defenders are here and this ball gets turned over at the moment the ball was kicked on the side of the field furthest from your net, meaning the attacking half, there must be two players in between this player and the goal. It's just the keeper here. So if this ball comes across here and they're already on the halfway, past the halfway line, they're offside. And you keep them offside. You don't care about them because you've pushed your central defenders up to this line. Now, a good striker is going to lurk in this area, knowing that at the moment this ball is kicked, if they're close to the halfway line but still on their side, doesn't matter. If these two players are here, they forget about him. When this ball gets kicked, they start here and start running. They are not offside because they started on their side of the field. So that's where your central defenders, keeping an eye, you want to press up, but they're going to kind of hang out in this area, keeping an eye on this striker so that at least they're level with them or slightly in front of them to block them off. But if this person really wants to be aggressive, as soon as they cross the line, you have to teach your two defenders, ignore him. No danger at all right here. If you have halfway decent ref, no danger at all. If they're here, danger. Now you got to be wary that he's waiting to get the jump when the ball is kicked. He's going to take off or she's going to take off. So that's why it's important to push your defenders up at least to the halfway so that they're in this range so that if the other team is smart and they're keeping an attacker up here, they can keep an eye on them, but they get to use this center line as kind of another teammate. This line keeps this player on or offside. And again, we talked about the importance of getting your keeper up here. Ball comes over the top and it bounces over. If this keeper is starting from here, they're going to win this foot race 9 times out of 10. If they're way back here, this defender and this striker, he's in a world of hurt. Because if this player, all he has to do is push the ball in front of them and get in front of them and block them, and they're off to the races. So again, starting position is important. So when you're working with your team, you want to work on both the offensive attacking half of knowing how to move that ball, to wait to when the ball is played, to make that run in so that you're not offside. And then on a situation like this, for example, you've got to train this player, hey, I've got to be level with or behind the ball to receive this to be onside. I have to have some patience. I can't just go running at the net because I'm excited because my teammate got the ball here. That's offside. You ruin a great goal scoring chance. I hope this is helpful. Let's go back and finish up. I almost forgot. There's one other thing. I actually turned around the camera and had to go back and do this again. There's one other reason why it's helpful to teach your teams how to work with the offside rule, and that's being able to push up when the ball is being moved. So, for example, let's take a corner kick. Ball comes in, and let's say we win possession and we knock the ball forward. If we stay like this and the other team gets the ball, they just come right back and they're back inside our penalty area. What's important to teach is when this ball moves backwards, all your players move forward when the ball's moving in this direction, because now these two players don't matter anymore. This player gets the ball and knocks it into them. Guess what? Offside. Piece of cake. So one of the things you can work on with players as they learn is you teach your team if the ball is moving in this direction, then your player should be moving in that direction. If this ball or this player has time to look and stand still and pick out a pass, now your players start to drop because this player here or this player here is now going to time their run to run in. So it's about recognizing when this player with the ball has time to pick out their pass. This is when your players need to drop. But when this player is either under pressure or have their back to the ball, this is where you teach your players to push forward and compress the field because it leaves this player behind. Too many times young players think, oh, there's somebody there, I got to go mark them. Leave them alone. They're in the offside position. Let them be. They can't hurt you. Well, I hope that was helpful so that as you're working with your team, you understand the limitations of offside as you're going forward and attacking, and how you can use the offside law to your advantage when you're defending to place other teams' players offside if you're quick with pushing up the field. In transition as well, we happen to look at just a corner kick transition, but that could happen in any transition when the ball is turned over. Pushing your players forward to leave players in an offside position as you go into the attack just means it's plays you don't have to worry about if the ball gets turned over again and it comes back your way. So I hope this helps inform your training as you go forward. I hope that it helps you explain to your players the importance of it and the tactics and the techniques that you might use to stay onside or use that to your advantage. And until next time, I hope that you'll share, like, comment on these videos, get it out to other coaches out there. Really helps the channel. I'll see you real soon. Thank you. Bye.